Hello and welcome, my Leo friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for the October Mercury Retrograde for my Leo friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just finished a Mercury Retrograde and here we are going into another one. On the good side, this is the last Mercury Retrograde of 2019. I'm not going to go into depth into what Mercury Retrograde is. There's a lot of great websites out there about the science and the effects and all that. What we are going to look at is how Mercury Retrograde is going to impact you over the next 3 weeks and some coping strategies and tools to overcome that. We can't change how Mercury Retrograde affects things. However, we can start to take control of how we respond and how we plan for it. The deck I chose for this reading is Tarot de la Nuit, or the Tarot of the Night. And then I'll be ending off the session with an oracle blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, there are fantastic links below to these gorgeous decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Leo friends, let's see what the cards have to say. What card symbolizes my Leo friends this Mercury Retrograde? You have two. You had a jumper as I pulled. Ooh, that's cool. So you have the Two of Cups. Twos are about duality and choice. Cups about emotion and intuition. The Two of Cups is known as the lesser lovers. Relationships are not going to be your strong suit over the next 3 weeks. Making major decisions in relationships, ending, beginning, that kind of thing, not a great idea. Friendships may be strained as well. Business relationships, so relationships in general are going to be a bit tenuous over the next 3 weeks. With the Two of Cups, the Two of Wands jumped out. Two of Wands, the Wands speak about that passion and choice. On the Rider-Waite deck, Pamela Coleman-Smith put a fellow who was looking lazily over his amazing vast estate, and he's contemplating how to go forward. It really speaks to that relationship piece and how that's going to really impact. There's going to be a lot of indecision and uncertainty in relationships and connecting in with others over the next 3 weeks. So let's look at these next 3 weeks. Okay, got a jumper already. What is the first week of Mercury Retrograde going to look like for my Leo friends? Okay, we had just the one jumper. It's the nice, good jumper. Ten of Swords. Tens are about ending and a beginning. Swords about truth and knowledge. There's going to be a lot of past pains come up. I know I said swords are about truth and knowledge. However, the Ten of Swords, Pamela Coleman-Smith put him this card as an individual that was impaled by 10 swords. There's no blood. It's not gruesome. It looks hard. The swords is interesting because it's a suit of knowledge. However, as we're emotional beings, like the swords themselves carry no emotion. We've attached emotion to that knowledge. How we really struggle and why we really struggle with the suit of swords is because we've all been in situations where we've had to deal with something and we've attached emotion to it. So it's the emotion surrounding those 10 swords that really give us grief. And those past pains and past situations are going to come up. The knowledge that you used or acquired or were supposed to acquire will be important that week. However, that pain and emotion will come back up with it. And especially if the individuals that you were surrounded in the situations are still in your life, that relationship will fly and fire back up again. Oh, and if individuals who are part of that want to be in your life again, not a good idea. Just kind of maybe postpone it or connect with them on a superficial level. Wait until Mercury Retrograde is over until you make any relationship decisions. Alright, on to the next week. What does the second week of Mercury Retrograde look like for my Leo friends? Okay, you got two jumpers this time. The cards have a lot to say. Wow. Okay, first card. 7 of Pentacles. Sevens are about that struggle, yet victory. Pentacles are about growth and abundance. The reason I said wow is the Seven of Wands jumped with it. It's crazy that you have the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands. Now you have the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Pentacles talks about growth and abundance. The Wands talks about that passion and fire, that inner drive. Now, the Seven of Pentacles through Mercury retrograde, things are going to look, what you thought was going to be really exciting may come down and be a little bit harsher and maybe not as lustrous as you thought. The Seven of Wands talks about competing and conflicting and fighting opinions and passions. Really brings into this relationship piece. People are going to be really at wits and at battle with you. Misinterpretations and miscommunications are going to be running rampant this week. Things that you thought were going to be really exciting and that you were looking forward to may not be as much fun or as lustrous. And you may find more fighting and more combat. And I don't mean like physical fighting. It's going to be more of those verbal confrontations, miscommunication, and hurt feelings will be on top of that. This is a fantastic week to do some self-reflection and self-care that week. Avoiding large groups, that emotional and relationship piece. You may want to try and take that week off as a healthcare week. And I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about those personal things. And if you're in a family situation, be very mindful of your relationships within your family. You may find that the emotions and fires run hot that week. There's a lot we can't avoid. We can't avoid people for 3 weeks. You can't take a week off work just because you think there might be some confrontation. What you can do is take a step back and look at it, but reduce the amount of extracurricular stuff you're doing. It's a fantastic week to ground yourself and care for yourself. Let's look at that third week. What does the third week of Mercury retrograde look like? Sorry, the deck is funny today. The World. An ending, thank God, and a beginning. Yay! Mercury retrograde does not last forever. It lasts for about 3 weeks. Like I said, you can't shut your world down for 3 weeks as much as we'd like to because it impacts everything. Our computers, our animals, us, anything on this plane. Knowing that once you have survived this, things are going to kind of calm down and you can celebrate, you managed to overcome Mercury retrograde. And then you can look at some more rejuvenation because Mercury retrograde really beats us up on a number of levels because we are looking at such a chaotic energy being sent to us. All right, let's look at how we can also overcome. Let's pull cards on how we can overcome things of Mercury retrograde. How can my Leo friends overcome the first week of Mercury retrograde? Judgment. The 20th card in the major arcana. That is your connection into the universe, your higher vibrational beings, that higher self, hearing the music and messages of the universe. Yes, the communication is going to be a challenge. It does not mean it's going to stop. Just because things are harder does not mean it stops. You may have to work a little bit for this, but those pieces are going to be important, those messages. Your higher self, checking into things. Is this true at this time? What do I need for this? Reflect. If these feelings and thoughts are coming up a lot, it's time to really look at them. Ask for guidance, ask for support, draw down that universal energy. That love and light is still there. It's Mercury retrograde cannot stop that. The universal love, the unconditional love, and that light cannot be stopped. All right, let's look at the second week. Oh, and I don't think I said, in angel messages, when you have the double 7 like that, you're looking at that you're on the right track. which would seem insane that week. Things may not be going at all correct for you, but things are going to be going on the right track, which is really shown up on the 21st, or shown up here with the 21st major arcana. That world will really help bring us together, and bring us to a point of light. But let's look at how we can overcome these dueling sevens, because they will challenge us. You may be on the right track, and what's even going to be harder is some of these situations are on the right track, but because Mercury retrograde is impacting you and that other individual or individuals, it's going to derail it a little bit. So let's look at how we can overcome. You got jumpers on jumpers. The first jumper was the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are a gift. Pentacles are about that growth and abundance. Bring it down. Bring those sevens down. When you start to escalate in anger and in passion and things don't look like they're going the right way, bring it to basics. Ground yourself. Do some meditation. Clear your energies. We absorb that Mercury retrograde energy and we start to ricochet around our world. Bring it to basics. Ground ourselves. Gaia is not as impacted. The universe is not as impacted with the Mercury retrograde. This is us, not them. The second one, Queen of Pentacles. Queens are that nurturing, loving energy. Pentacles, again, about that growth and abundance. The Queen of Pentacles, like I just said, Gaia is not impacted as much, is known as Mother Nature. That fertility, abundance, it's there. You need to take that time. You're looking at Mother Nature asking you to start to care for yourself. We already know this is going to be a crazy week. I said to take time out, work on yourself, nurture yourself, heal yourself. This isn't a time to go out and be with people. This is a time to really be inwards and really care for you. Really focus in on you. That's how you'll find that the second week in Mercury retrograde is be a bit easier for you. Let's look at that third week now. What can my Leo friends anticipate as a support for the third week? Even though, let's be honest, the world is not as challenging as the double sevens. I will say that this week may feel like a very long week because the world's turning. That evolution and revolving will slow down because of Mercury retrograde. That's the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is known as the depression and anxiety card. It usually is a woman sitting up in a bed holding her hands with 9 swords. It's very closely associated with the 10 swords. However, during that week, what's going to be helpful, it talks about going inwards, that really reflecting in on that knowledge piece, on what you need to take forward with you. Because the world does talk about that next stage, that next step. It's about taking stock of what's really important. What do you really need to bring? What has to stay? What can you leave behind with Mercury retrograde? Let's look at what your shadow self wants to add. That's strength. Strength is the 8th card in the major arcana. It talks about that inner power. That inner power to overcome and achieve the impossible. Using your strengths and your abilities, you will be able to tame that lion. Trusting in yourself, trusting in your angelic and spiritual posse, trusting that they've got your back, they're not going anywhere. Trust those abilities, and that will help you through. All right, my Leo friends, let's look at a blessing. What blessing do we have for my Leo friends this Mercury retrograde? The mermaid of immersion. Complete and commit. Don't give up. You're gonna have to throw yourself into this. You can't avoid it. It will happen. Mercury retrograde happens because Mercury itself is orbiting the solar system. We can't avoid this. You're going to have to use that inner strength and work on this. Calling it as it is, taking that step back and saying, okay, those emotions are going to come up. People will not be a good thing this week. It's going to be a hard week. Not putting out there that it is going to be a hard week, knowing you have the ability to overcome it. There's nothing going to stop you. This will only slow you down. You've got these two fantastic ladies here who are right beside you. They are going to support you through it. That grounding and nurturing yourself will really help not only you get through the week, but it'll help heal you and help you go forward. Okay, for those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on the cards. This is a group reading. However, I drew these cards especially for my Leo friends. What further information do the cards hold for you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for a more personal or specific reading, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. For those who are interested, I will be running online introductory and interactive classes on Zoom over the next couple of months. The first class is on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introductions to Angels and Archangels class. Then on December 9th, I'll be running my Introduction to Connecting or Channelings class. If you're interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. Below, I've provided a link to my classes page that will take you straight to what classes I'm offering, and you can go check things out from there. I hope you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some direction and insight into what to expect for Mercury retrograde. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. I will continue to create fun and dynamic videos for my zodiac friends. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm gonna go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you like my video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. Some of my tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Leo friends.